Hi everyone, I thought I would do a little small business update. I haven't done one of these for a while and it's been a year about since I started working self-employed on StickerKitten, my small business. So if you haven't come across me on my channel already, I am Sarah and I run StickerKitten. I make my own card making and papercraft and planner supplies like stickers and paper packs and stamps and that kind of thing, and I love to do all things creative and artsy and illustration related. So I guess in this video I just wanted to kind of talk a bit about where things are now with the business and where I am and where I'm going to be going, which is like the hard bit, I think. So a lot has changed since I did the last few videos like this. So I'm pregnant, baby number 3 is due in August, so it's now May and I have a few months to kind of get everything sorted before baby arrives. And the papercraft industry has been tough. So when I decided at the end of 2023 that I would become self-employed and work just on the business, the papercraft industry was maybe not at its height like it was, but definitely not as much in decline as it is now. So we've seen some really big companies close. TV channel Create and Craft has gone. Recently Craft Stash closed, which was a big UK craft shop website. So that was a bit of a shock, I think, because they were like such a big player in the game. They've been around for a good few years. I remember when they started up, they used to stock our StickerKitten products. We used to sell them wholesale right when they began. That was quite a few years ago. So yeah, to see them go under was, yeah, sad. And then obviously in the US we've had things like Joann's closing, something like 800 of their craft stores, big business that's gone under. I find there's not really as much interest in card making as there used to be, so it's hard to know why that is, whether people just have enough stuff now or whether they're not really crafting, or they're not making cards, or they're not sending cards. So we don't sell paper packs that often anymore. We rarely sell stamps, which is such a shame because it means that I can't design any more stamps. I can't make any more stamps. There's no reason to. Nobody buys stamps, and I guess when I decided I really wanted to do StickerKitten full time, it was with the thought that I would be heavily focusing on papercraft. I have done some big fairs like Stamporama. We've done a few shows, one in Bracknell, one in Southampton, and we've got another one coming up in July in Bracknell. So they're kind of like stamping and papercraft specific events, and it usually has a good few hundred visitors. I think the Bracknell one last year had 600 visitors, and it is really nice to see people who are still so into crafting and card making and scrapbooking, but a lot of people, I think I mentioned this in one of my previous videos, that a lot of people still say, oh, they don't really have time for it, or they have too much stuff and they're not really looking to buy a lot. People don't seem like as excited about crafting as they used to. Like when I started making cards, probably after 2012 when we made our own wedding invitations, I got into crafting then. And there was like a real community around it. A lot of people had their own blogs and they would write about what they'd made and how they made it, and different techniques they'd used, and there was a community of like teaching other people and like sharing like your favourite products to use and that sort of thing. And I think that's not really there anymore. Like there's a little bit of it on Instagram, but I don't think it's as big a thing as it used to be. The things that have been working for StickerKitten are stickers, which is nice because, that obviously works with our name. So I think without the stickers that we make, we wouldn't really have a business right now. We sell stickers mainly on Etsy. We do get orders through our website, but not as many as we do on Etsy. So a lot of people, I think, are just finding us through searches. The most popular designs that we sell are vehicles, and so like a lot of the stuff that James has drawn, like trains and cars and boats, and animals as well is a really popular theme. So James did some really cute bird illustrations recently, and I made those all into sticker sheets, and they've been really popular, so that's nice. But I don't know, for me to, I guess, decide that this business will be stickers and nothing but stickers feels not right to me, partly because I feel like I don't have a lot of control over whether they sell or not. It's kind of like, you know, does someone stumble across us on Etsy and go, oh yeah, that's what I need, that's what I want, and then they order them. You know, so some weeks, I mean, for example, you know, I had a really good week on Etsy this week, and I get paid weekly from Etsy, and it was a relief compared to the week before when I'd got a quarter of what I normally get from Etsy. And I was like, if this is, you know, going to be how it is, I can't sustain it. But then the weeks that we do get in the amount that we need, everything looks good. So it's really up and down, and I don't want to rely on it as the sole source of income. Also, there is obviously a big practical side to it. We have to cut the stickers, package them, post them, which is fine. I love doing that. But I guess I'm thinking, when baby's here and having 3 young children, I don't want to scale up a business that involves so much hands-on time. James is the one who does all of the cutting of the stickers, and I do packaging and postage and everything. But I guess it feels like making stickers for like £2.50, £3 a sheet for a handful of sales each week is not a massively sustainable business model. Like, it is working and it is steady, and I know other businesses do make a full-time income from stickers, but I don't know if that is everything that I want to do. Like, I'm sad to cut out the papercraft side of things, because one of the things that I love most is making patterns, and if I'm not making patterns for paper packs, it's a kind of like, what shall I make patterns for? Because I really love making patterns, and I want to make patterns, and I want to do illustrations. And I know I said before that one of my goals is to get into the art licensing industry, so to sell my designs to companies who want to put them on their own products, whether that's like fabric or clothing or cushions or wallpaper or mugs, or I don't know, any different kind of items. But it is a really hard market to break into. Essentially, you kind of have to just cold email companies and just be like, here's my portfolio, do you like any designs, do you want to work with me, you know, do you want to buy or license any artwork from me? And I'll be honest, I haven't really tried very hard yet. I haven't really emailed many people. I haven't updated my portfolio with all my recent stuff, and I know I'm kind of holding myself back a bit, and I need to just get on with it and do the hard work if I want to get anywhere. But I guess I know that a lot of what I'm working on right now is learning and getting better, and I have spent a few years kind of working slowly on building up my skills in Procreate. I can design pattern collections and illustrations, and I've made paper packs, our most recent ones. So I guess I know what I'm doing, and I know what I can do. Like, I can see that with more and more practice and time, I'll get better and better. And so stationery is something that I've wanted to do for a while as well. And I put together our first stationery product recently, which was a cute little DL size to-do list notepad. It's got a strawberry design, a strawberry pattern that I illustrated, and then I made up the notepad artwork in InDesign and sent it to the printer and got those made and did the photographs and the listings. So I feel this sense of pressure, like I've got till August when baby arrives, and then the only things I'll be able to do for the business will have to be one-handed on the laptop whilst I'm holding and feeding baby. I also spend a lot of time thinking about like the long-term plans as well. So right now StickerKitten runs off the money that comes in from the website and Etsy and a teeny weeny bit off Skillshare. So I get a royalty from minutes watched for my classes, which used to be good but is declining month on month. So the past few months it's been like £10 or £20. So I know I need to make new classes, and like that's on my list as well. And I know I need to make more YouTube videos because that helps people, I guess, discover the products that we make, and hopefully it's also interesting to other small businesses and designers and illustrators as well, like the small business type stuff. And money-wise, we're running off the little bits that come in from Etsy, website, little bit Skillshare. Print on demand is completely dead. We don't get anything from that, which is kind of frustrating because I spent a lot of time like uploading designs and, you know, tweaking the products, but that never took off. The market just got too saturated. Like I jumped on that sort of trend too late. And savings as well. So when I left my corporate job, I had some money that I saved in order to keep the business afloat for a certain amount of time. So what I'm doing at the minute is trying to reduce how much I pull in from savings each month and try and get the business to make up the money I need to pay my portion of the bills. So it's going okay in that respect. So I'm transferring a little bit less each month from my savings, so my savings will last longer. Like I think where we are at the minute, they will last another year. I don't have loads of money saved. It's just that I don't need to transfer much each month at the minute. James pays the lion's share of what we need into our joint account to cover the mortgage and the bills. He works as a web developer and he works from home, which is great, so I have him around all the time. And we kind of discussed all the financial aspect of it, and having me around to be flexible for, you know, if the kids are ill, and to be able to pick them up from school and to be able to go to their events, and just, you know, if grandparents are away, then it's no problem for Orla to be with me for the day and that sort of thing. For me to be able to work on the business, which I love, and to be around for the kids, which I want, is great. The good thing and the bad thing is that there are so many things that I could try. So I do feel really privileged to be in the place where I can experiment and I can say, okay, let me try this product, let me try these designs, let me try this way to make money from art and illustration. But at the same time, it's also a lot of pressure. Like I feel kind of, the fear of trying to get it right. Not do things just for money that I don't love, and not do things that I just love that don't make money. So that balance is one that I'm sure most small business owners would be familiar with, most creatives. And I guess I think long term, what do I want to do with myself? Do I want to be like a product-based business? Do I want to be like mainly an illustrator? Because the other thing is AI as well, you know, that's a big shift for the industry, and a lot of artists and illustrators aren't worried. You know, they say there's still so much value in the human touch to artwork that's created that you can't just replace that with AI. And, you know, initially I did agree with them. I kind of thought, well, you know, people have been using stock photo libraries for many years, and that hasn't killed off the industry for commissions. I'd love to do a degree in illustration. I have a degree in English literature. It might be possible for me to apply for a master's in illustration if I have a good enough portfolio. But then I think, well, that would be a lot of money. And do I really need a qualification in it, or do I need to just knuckle down and get on and practice? And be brave and email people. But yeah, so this is just a bit of a rambling update to essentially say I don't know what I'm doing. But then I think if you look at behind the scenes at a lot of small businesses, nobody does either. So I feel slightly better in that respect, that I'm not alone. Just keep an eye on my socials on Instagram. I post now and again, not that often. My email list is the best place to get updates from me. So if you go to stickerkitten.co.uk/newsletter, you can sign up to my mailing list. And I normally email out to my mailing list first about whatever's going on, like new products or whatever I'm working on, if you're interested in keeping updated. But yeah, that's it for now, and I hope the next update will be less rambling. But yeah, it's mainly because the papercraft industry has changed so much, and there's this kind of threat of AI looming, making me kind of think, well, what do I do about the whole illustration thing? Is it worthwhile or not? And then, your baby's going to arrive, so everything's going to change. So it's all a bit up in the air. But otherwise, thank you for watching. Please do let me know in the comments what you like about what we do. Bye for now.